They've become a fixture here in San Diego County. Homeless veterans carrying signs asking for food and money. 17% of the county's homeless are people who served in the armed forces. Returning from combat for many veterans is filled with struggle. They're grappling with poverty, mental illness, and addiction. There is some good news locally, though. The Department of Veterans Affairs is giving Veterans Village of San Diego a $1 million grant. I'm joined by Phil Landis, President and CEO of Veterans Village, and his colleague Hanan Scrapper. She's Program Director for Supportive Services for Veterans Families. Hanan, what will the grant money be used for?
This grant is part of the VA's initiative to end veteran homelessness in 2015. So as part of that, it's really focused on working with families and individuals who are homeless to get them into housing and provide the supportive services that they need to maintain their home and live stable lifestyle.
Phil, why are veterans chronically homeless? Where is the deficiency in the safety nets?
Well, that's a really good question, and there is no simple answer to that. I'm not sure that, veterans falling into homelessness criteria is much different than anybody else's. We just happen to live in a community where there is a high population of veterans. Maybe there's something about just being in the service that has something to do with it. We don't really know. We're going to take you as you are. We don't want to drill down too deep other than what are the causes for you specifically, what brought you to our doorstep, and then try and help you solve those issues and get on with your life.
Hanan, what is the most crucial piece in reintegrating a homeless veteran back into society?
It's really meeting them where they are and working with them to help them build from strength up. You put a roof over their head and provide the services that is appropriate for them. They know their families best. And we can identify that with them and help them get connected to the community through job, through training, or other benefits that they can access, but really helping them have a roof over their head and meet their basic needs to integrate back into civilian lifestyle.
Phil, is there a connection between the problems that we're hearing at the Veterans Administration and homelessness? I mean, we hear that it can take up to a year for returning veterans to receive benefits. So is there a tie between these two, homelessness and VA problems?
Yeah, I'm not so certain that there is in that regard. There could be a nexus there. We don't see it in any broad dimension. I think that homelessness amongst veterans is an issue that this country has been grappling with probably since the Civil War. You go back into our own military history here and you see evidence of combat veterans or veterans that served in a combat theater, having homelessness. It's not any different today. The generation is different. We're beginning to see a lot of very young men and women come to our doorsteps, and we're now providing services to a third of the veterans that come to us are post 9/11 veterans. We think that's the future, and I'm not sure. I will tell you one thing. No other country on the face of the earth has provided the kind of resources for veterans and to end veteran homelessness than this one.
And yet the problem remains.
And yet the problem remains. We just completed our stand down. This is our 27th year. Last year, we had 968 participants. This year, we had 960. Oh, wait a minute. We have programs like Hanan's, where she has helped over 400 veterans attain permanent housing in the course of the last year or so, plus a number of veterans and their families have an opportunity to stay in their homes as well. And you've got the VA that is providing housing through the Housing First models. And yet we still have these huge numbers of homeless veterans. It really concerns us.
Hanan, how far does $1 million go in alleviating this problem?
It helps tremendously. We can never have enough money, I guess, to address all the issues that come with it, but it helps a great deal to those who we are able to prevent homelessness. A lot of folks are at risk of becoming homeless from paycheck to paycheck, not being able to meet the rent burden that we have here. But being able to provide the hand up that they need to remain in their home it's really helpful so that they don't fall into homelessness. And then you have others who are homeless that we're able to really begin immediately working with them to get them into housing, and then provide the services, work with them on budgeting and other things that they may need so that they can remain their home and get long-term sustainability.
And we have to close it there. Hanan, Phil, thanks so much for coming on the program.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having us.